Well, howdy, 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 everybody. Teresa here, and
Bradley, Weatherman. Weatherman, yeah.
It's August 8th, 2016, 2:29 p.m. here on this rainy Monday, manic Monday, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Anyway. And what is the weather like today?
The weather in PANACEA, Florida is 86 degrees. Today's projected high is 86, a low of 77. And the extended forecast, it looks like it is going to rain the rest of our lives. Back to you, Teresa.
Thank you, Brad. Real feel is 98.
Yeah.
Yes, we actually have the air conditioner off right now. And we have the front door open. Well, you know, we still have the screen door, but and some windows open. So if you hear a little pitter patter, that's the rain. But you know, it's kind of nice to have the air conditioner off for a while. We still have the fan going up overhead, but it's nice to be able to bring some fresh air in and stuff. So yesterday, guess what I did? Yes, looming. I'm working on that blanket. Let's see. This is what I've gotten done so far, which is quite a bit, you know. But you have to remember that this is going to be cuffed up like this. So it's getting there. I'm going to have to take some measurements, see how much longer I need to make it. Like I said, this is just one panel of two. So worked on that for a very long time, all day yesterday, in fact. We did take our medications and lay down and took naps after lunch, and didn't really sleep. I couldn't really sleep. I think you took a pretty good nap, didn't you, yesterday?
No, I didn't sleep at all yesterday.
Oh, he didn't. Okay.
Today I slept.
But and then he made barbecue chicken out on the grill, and we just have one of those little tabletop propane grills. It works out really nice for the two of us.
I bought that when I worked at the grocery store.
Mm-hmm.
It was the end of the season. They had it marked down to like $5.
Yeah, it was the end of the summer clearance, you know, and they're getting rid of it, you know, and like I said, it's just a little tabletop one, but it works out really well for us, and you know, so that's what we use. And then he made rice and corn. And made us some corn. He opened up a can of corn for us.
That was hard.
Yeah. So, and then we watched the Olympics while I was working on that blanket and stuff, which was nice. We watched the a lot of the women's gymnastics, which we both always really enjoy, and it's just the gymnastic period. You know, which they just is amazing the stuff they do, and I'm like, really, I'm still working on walking and not falling, and
I can barely walk and chew.
You know, I never did really master cartwheel real well, so standing on my head, no, that was out too, and I could do somersaults really well back when I was a kid. But so that's about all we did yesterday. We tried to go to bed fairly early because he had a doctor's appointment this morning, and we both had blood draws, but I had so much trouble sleeping. So, like I said, we went and had our A1C blood, hemoglobin blood draw, both of us, and he met the doctor and got back going on a lot of his prescriptions and stuff, you know, because I don't know all what you were off of totally.
Quite a few of them.
Were you?
The only thing I still have, I had 5 prescriptions, and the only thing I still have left is the lisinopril and the shoot 'em up stuff.
Oh, but you've been using mine.
On the
Victoza and the gabapentin. So basically, he would if we hadn't have stockpiled quite a bit of Victoza before we left Wyoming, and I hadn't been helping him. You know, I was actually taking none for a while, and then a lower dose and stuff to make sure he had some, you know. And the same way with the gabapentin, because you know, his neuropathy is so much worse and stuff. So, you know, but we made it through, you know,
Yes,
and, you know, and he was really thrilled. He'd only put on 5 pounds since he retired, which is really phenomenal because most people, when they retire, will put on, you know, 20, 30 pounds typically. You know, you're not near as active, you're home around food more and stuff, so he did a great job, you know. You know, his blood pressure was up some, probably the highest I'd ever seen. It's not like it was alarming, but, you know, it was up enough that, you know, good thing he'll be getting back on lisinopril. Were you out of your lisinopril?
No,
you still were taking it?
I'm still taking it.
Yeah.
But I don't like doctors.
Well, honey, most people anyway, don't just really love going to a doctor, but they're a necessary evil.
Are you telling me I'm normal?
No. I didn't say
You
that.
could just accidentally squeak it out that yes, I'm normal.
Yes, you are can't do it. So, and then we came home. Okay, get this, we leave the doctors and stuff, then we go, and he bought a package of cinnamon rolls. But I said, oh, don't they sound good? And they were horrible. He bought them from Dollar General, and they were horrible. We didn't even finish eating them because they were so overly sweet, and I don't know, they were the worst cinnamon rolls we've ever had. And the dog didn't even want to eat them. That's how bad they were. But I told Brad, I took a couple bites of mine, I'm like, we can't eat this. We're going to get sick to our stomach. Because we can't eat anything that's real sugary, you know, because it'll just, you know, TMI, but it's just going to go through us like lava. You know, so, you know, and he agreed. He took a couple bites of his, and he's like, yeah, you're right. You know, so we opted to have a piece of bread with some peanut butter. I said, you know, that'd be healthier for us.
Yeah.
You know, so, you know. And then we get home. Dogs are carrying on inside the RV, of course, right?
Just to a major freak out.
Right, because they're excited.
Because we didn't take them.
Right, because, you know, we had to go and talk to them. And the Brad's trying to unlock the motorhome door. No Beano. Nope, will not work. Nope, cannot open it. He tries again, still can't open it. We don't have a key for the lower lock. He's like, crap, they must have, because we use this board up against the lower part of the screen door. There's the screen door, and then if you guys are familiar with RVs, and then it's like a magnetic attachment to the solid door. Well, we use one of my big art drawing boards right in front of it so they don't rip up the screen on the lower part. So he said, crap, they knocked they jammed the board up underneath the lock. I'm like, okay, well, you go around on the driver's side and unlock that and somehow get through. Even though the driver's chair is turned, you know, so the back of it is up against the door, and we do have stuff on that. We have, like, a little office area stuff set up there. He goes around and he tries, and he's like, nope, he doesn't have a key for the driver's door to be able to lock it. Like crap. He tries again, still can't get this motorhome door open. The dog's getting even more frantic by this point in time because they can hear us. So, Mr. Heide, at almost 56 years of age, has to climb up on the picnic table and then uses a stool and another chair put on part of the picnic table top to boost himself up. And he opened up the window of what would be the kitchen area, and to climb up in through the window. So he boosts himself up. You know, if you picture this, all you can see is his butt up in the air, right? And his legs hanging down. Then as you watch, pretty soon it's his leg, 2 legs sticking out of the window. I almost took a picture, but I started laughing so hard because it was just so comical. You know, these 2 legs stick straight up through the window, slowly going down, slowly going down, slowly going down, you know.
I was just trying to keep from doing a face plant on the floor.
Yeah, he's trying to keep from doing a face plant. Of course, now the dogs are really friendly because their master's coming through the window. So I assume they probably were all jumping on you and everything. You know, he's trying not to destroy everything in the motorhome that's sitting around, you know, like the dehumidifier and the fans and stuff, and not do a face plant himself. But you had to see the humor in it. It was just the funniest thing ever. It was like, oh, you know. So what happened is that when we got in, you know, Brad unlocked the door so I could come in then. And there's a button that sticks out right above the door itself. And what happened was I didn't realize that if you push that in, it locks the door. Because we never use that lock. We always use the top lock. So they must have, Charlie had the habit of, and that's why we have that board up against the screen part, of slapping that. And I think he must have slapped it and locked it. Yes, you know, and, but it was funny.
I wasn't thinking funny at the time.
I know, but you should have been on just seeing your two legs sticking out, and all of a sudden they're slowly going in more, in more, in more. Pretty soon, like I see with your big old feet, you know, with his Crocs on. Oh, and you should see his feet too, because you know he wears his Crocs and have got the holes in the top. You know, which he used to hate Crocs. He used to make fun of me because I always wear Crocs, right? You know, the slip-on hideous shoes, right? But they're so comfortable. He wears his all the time now. And he's worn them so much that his tan line stops right where his shoe starts. And then the holes in the top of the Croc, he's got little tan dots, polka dots. But, so, and then we took naps. And that concludes our whole story and day.
Yeah, I was so tired last night. I was so worried I was going to oversleep that
then you couldn't
didn't sleep.
Yeah.
We kept checking out the time.
Mm-hmm.
And so this morning, yeah, we got back from the doctor, and then they tell us that, oh no, you can have black coffee.
I knew that. I tried to tell you that.
You weren't sure though.
Well, and then I was looking it up yesterday. I was actually looking it up. And all the reports I was seeing said that now you could eat with the A1C.
Really?
Yeah. So that's an old standard that you couldn't eat. But I thought, you know what? If we did go ahead and eat, then it would be like, oh, we can't do your test because you've eaten.
Yeah.
So we just made sure. We didn't even have water this morning.
Yeah.
You know. So, yeah, but, yeah. We're making breakfast for dinner tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Of some sort. We gotta get a package ready to mail off to my granddaughter. Her birthday is on the 15th. And that's about it. Right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I heard from my oldest daughter, she's doing great. She, of course, passed her boards and got her license, everything. She's a CNA, you know, and loves her job and everything. And, you know, everything's going great there. My youngest daughter is traveling. It's like a 5,000-mile trek she went from Wyoming to Oregon because her husband was changing jobs. He's an over-the-road truck driver. To pick him up, and then they were going to Ohio to where his new company and his new employer is, because he was changing jobs, and then they were coming back. But it's a nice time for them just the two of them to be together. The kids are with their father, so, you know, it's a nice little, you know, time for just the two of them to be together and do some sightseeing and stuff. So she's off doing that. Right?
Yep.
Brad was on the phone quite a while last night with one of his cousins, and they, well, you guys talk for a couple hours, didn't you?
70 minutes and some odd seconds.
Okay, yeah. I don't know. He went in the bedroom to talk with him. You know, he went to the other end of the RV, and then the women's swimming came on, so I quit watching the Olympic night. Then I put my headphones on and was watching some YouTube videos, so I wasn't sure. But they had a nice visit and stuff. That's about all. The other day he was on the phone with one of his childhood friends that he's been friends with, since the 7th grade.
Yeah.
You know, so, you know, I'm happy for him. He's getting to reconnect with some people and, you know, all of that, right?
Yep. Yep. And then my brother called last night, but I was on the phone with my cousin, so.
Yeah, give him a call tonight or something.
That's what I figured, because I ain't going fishing.
You might. You might quit.
According to the weather report, no. Well, there was a hurricane down in Ecuador or someplace like that. And when I was watching the Weather Channel a little bit earlier today, they made it sound like that Florida is slated for a lot of rain. In fact, there's several places they've got flood warnings. You know, but here it's so sandy that, you know.
We don't get much of the bad weather because the bay that we're in, Okalooconee Bay,
I still struggle with that.
Is very shallow as far as the bay. And so most of the time when a storm hits, because the bay is so shallow, it loses a lot of its momentum. So that's why we don't really we'll get the rain and stuff, but we won't get as bad of wind, and we won't get like the hurricane conditions, you know, nearly as bad. And that's why, you know, it's a pretty safe area, which is good.
Well, that was one of the things that kind of influenced us for this general area.
Yeah.
Was this particular area is least likely to get hit by a hurricane.
Yeah.
And when it does get hit by hurricanes, it's really, really not severe at all.
We did our research on that really well, and that did hold true. Like I said, we spent over a year researching this out, and then re-researching and re-researching. Every time I had extra time and I was a little bored or a little down or anything holding on to that dream, I would do more research. So that did hold very true. One of the things was the weather, because of course you've got to make sure that, you know, you're not going to be where, you know, So, but yeah, this is a very shallow bay, and, you know, right, hon?
Yep.
So in the way it kind of sits, it's kind of, you know.
I guess, I mean, I've had several people tell me there's some channel markers probably about 300 yards offshore, and they'll tell me that at high tide, through those channels, it's only like 12 to 15 feet deep.
Yeah.
But at low tide, you can walk all the way out to those channel markers.
Yeah. Yeah, and sometimes some of the crab traps are actually, if the tide is extremely low, if you in a full moon cycle and stuff, is when you'll get the most big difference between the high and low tide.
Yeah.
See, we're learning this stuff.
Yeah.
So sometimes when that's happening, some of those crab traps, you'll be able to actually see them. The tide will be down that low that you're actually sitting on top of the sand, which is pretty cool looking, you know, and stuff. But for that reason, we don't get as many boats in the bay as you would in other bays, and we don't. Granted, those channel markers are for fishermen, for commercial fishermen and stuff. This area, this bay, used to have a lot of commercial fishermen in it, but when they tightened the regulations and stuff, then a lot of that's what happened to this area, economy-wise, is a lot of people then, you know, and you see all kinds of different fish processing plants, even like in PANACEA and stuff, that are all closed up and stuff, and a lot of vacant homes and stuff, you know. So that's one of the reasons too that we picked down around this area, Crawfordville areas, where we really would like to probably be. We were talking about Woodville, but that actually is in a different county, and also it is more expensive property value and stuff up in that area. So Crawfordville is a nice area. We like that that area, and it's cheaper to live there as far as property and stuff, right?
Yep.
And so, you know, we're working toward that, you know, but I'm still waiting to see what happened with the disability. We don't have any determination with Medicaid. I mean, they said that now they're waiting for disability. They say they're one and the same. Before they said...
Well, they said they're run out of the same office.
Oh, because before you asked and they said no, they weren't.
I know.
And so it's like, okay, you know, so, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
Right, honey?
Right, baby.
So, anyway, that's all we got going on.
Sorry.
Right?
Yep.
What are you doing?
I was kind of hungry.
Yeah, me too.
So I was gonna have a ramen.
Me too.
Okay.
We're making some high society lunch. We're gonna have ramen. You know, but yeah. We're just waiting to hear on that. If not, then Brad's gonna have to find some kind of job that he still can do with the back. You know, I'm not sure what.
Yeah.
You know.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we will.
You know,
I'm doing what I can do.
Yes, you are.
You know, I can't do anything more than what I'm already doing as far as for work and stuff. So, you know.
Yeah.
But I couldn't really get a job. I would have to have a job where I could sit. And I couldn't really do that unless, until we get a second vehicle. And we would have to be in a house or something like that. Because I can't leave these dogs locked up in an RV all day. I mean,
they'll lock us out.
Yeah, they'll lock us out, and they would probably tear up the entire RV.
Yeah.
You know, so I'd have to have some kind of, you know, housing and stuff. So, you know, and then you have to worry that because I have that immunodeficiency disease, that I usually get very sick very quickly whenever I'm working out in the outside the house. So.
Yeah, well, I know every time you.
But I might be able to find something with like answering phone calls or something that you can do in your house. More and more companies are going to that.
Yeah.
So that might be an option once we get into a house and we get like a regular landline or something. I might be able to do something like that.
Yeah. Yep.
That's probably a good option for me.
Yep.
You know, a lot of these companies would rather they're going to that because they don't have to put you in an office with a cubicle and stuff. It's cheaper for them, you know, and stuff. So
they save a lot of money on office space and all of that other stuff.
So, you know. Oh, and I found out my friend Dee said that those aren't actually cockroaches. They're called palmetto bugs. That they're really huge and they look similar to a cockroach. He said because they are around the palm trees. That makes perfect sense. I just know they're icky, 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 and I do not like them.
And when they drop on you.
Especially when they drop on me. That's just
like... They make you use bad words.
Well, yeah, I mean...
But I don't blame you. I would have freaked out, too.
Hey, you know, I handle that. I have to not think about it too much, but I try to handle that pretty well, because, you know, it's like, holy moly. But that's all we really got going on, people. Nothing major, just, you know,
Just living the life.
Yep, living the life. Making the best, you know.
I'm really glad to see it.
Counting our blessings.
So much cooler, yes.
Yeah. You know, counting our blessings, you know. Try not to lose faith that it'll all work out, you know, and stuff. So, you know, the doctor was nicer, more personable today.
Yeah.
And stuff. So I think she's trying harder, you know, and it's the same doctor I had. And I'm surprised she remembered me. but you know, she was really examining Brad's feet quite a bit because of the neuropathy and stuff that he's experiencing in his feet and stuff now, and we're kind of concerned about some they aren't ulcers, but some and they aren't really sores. They're scrapes because he injures himself so much, you know, if he isn't wearing shoes, because he can't feel his feet, and so he'll trip over stuff, or something will, you know, cut his foot or his leg or something. And so she was kind of concerned about that, but he's gonna have to go back every 3 months to be checked, and your A1C and all that.
Yeah.
You know, we'll see what the numbers show. Right, hon?
Right.
His glucose numbers have been pretty good. They've really been coming down. So we've really been trying to watch that.
Yeah.
I know it doesn't sound like if I say we, you know, bought cinnamon rolls. We were really hungry for it. We're really learning that, you know, what it would have been better to do, hun, would have been to have bought some apples and then made the sugar-free baked apples instead.
Yeah,
You know, with it for that cinnamon taste.
or buy the canned cinnamon rolls and not the frosting on.
Yeah, we do that sometimes too. You know, so
Because those
we're
would have been
learning.
a lot better than these.
Yeah, we're learning.
Yeah.
So, but also with being very limited, right, in PANACEA, and there's only one grocery store and a Dollar General. So,
Yeah.
you know, and the grocery store is very small and very limited, you know, and expensive on stuff. Some stuff.
That's what's really weird is some stuff they're just through the roof. I mean, milk, they're $5.50 a gallon.
Yeah.
You know, they're $2 more a gallon than the Dollar General right across the road.
Right.
But then eggs, they were a lot cheaper on eggs than Dollar General.
But you know, they're really honest though. You know, if you're going to buy, like we stopped in to buy some sunscreen for me. The gal even said, sweet little gal, said it'd be cheaper for you at Dollar General.
Yeah.
So, anyway, I'm gonna get off here and stuff because you know our ramen is getting cooked and all that good stuff. I hope everybody's having a great day, and I hope you're dry wherever you are, and that you're cool or warm enough, depending on, you know, where in the world you are. And if you're a new subscriber, welcome. I think you guys are all awesome, and I do cherish your friendships, and we do love you guys. And we will talk to you later. Say bye, Brad.
Bye, Brad.
Bye, guys.